I'm going to be reacting of a video from Apologia Church. Basically, all in a nutshell, they're going out there and they are protesting a pro-choice movement and asking the pro-choice people, what do they believe? Now, if you have a belief about something, you should be able to explain yourself and be able to coherently say what that belief is. Like, for example, I'm a Christian because I believe in Christ because of my experience. Now, that's not something that could per se be debated because it was based on, my belief is based on a personal experience with Christ. But for me, it's not just something my grandmother taught me, therefore I stuck with it. Because you can have a belief in something because somebody else told you it was okay or based on somebody else's experience. So as what I'm going to be doing is showing you some clips, and I'm going to give you my reaction to those clips. Try to explain a little bit what's going on within these clips and also try to give my input.
They can't even tell you what's wrong with The Handmaid's Tale. You guys are dressed as The Handmaid's Tale, and you can't say what's wrong with it. What's wrong with it?
I don't care.
What's wrong with The Handmaid's Tale?
Use Google. So there's this Oklahoma guy that's being weird.
No. You want me to ask Google what's wrong with The Handmaid's Tale?
Are you familiar that they raped the women?
So what's wrong with rape? According to your worldview.
Dressed up from The Handmaid's Tale, and Pastor Jeff is engaging them, asking them, hey, what's wrong with The Handmaid's Tale? Trying to get them to start conversing and opening up a line of communication. Now, if you see in this clip, Pastor Jeff asks and says, well, is it wrong? What's wrong with it? What's your thoughts on what's wrong with it? And then he says, well, is it wrong to rape somebody or to use somebody else's body against their will? Now, is what Pastor Jeff is trying to do here is he's trying to establish that a person has a right to their own body. Meaning, if I'm going off and doing something and carrying on grocery shopping or something, somebody has no right to come over and violate my body. By them admitting that this is true and therefore a fact, in their worldview it says that they have the right to harm another person. But if they agree and concede to Pastor Jeff saying that no, nobody has a right to violate somebody else's body, then they don't have the right to violate an unborn child's body.
My question to all of you is it immoral to violate a person's body against their will?
Yes,
It is. So thank you for the pro-life argument.
Okay, there you have it. By their own admission, they just stated that it is immoral to violate somebody's body without their permission. Now, this does a couple things. This proves to the protesters that their worldview cannot sustain on its own.
You made the statement that you said that you think violating a person's body and using their body against their will
is evil. Is evil.
You have no problem violating a woman's body and forcing her to incubate an unwanted fetus.
Sir.
Okay, so this guy basically believes that it's wrong to force a woman to carry an unborn baby even though she doesn't want it. I wanted to try and make that argument better, but there's really no, I don't think, any way to make it better. I mean, there's probably a way to make it better. I'm just not aware of it, nor am I thinking of it. But to be 100% honest, if you're going to have sex and you know the chances of having sex causing a pregnancy, that's kind of the risk that you're taking. That's one of the big reasons why we shouldn't be having sex outside of marriage. But one thing that people keep saying in this video is that, well, because they keep calling it a fetus, or embryo, calling it something else, calling the baby anything else does not change the fact that it's a baby. I could call a car a lemon, just like the expression, a bad car, we call that a lemon. We're not saying the car is physically a lemon. So it's still a car, even if I call it a tomato. It's still a car. It doesn't change. So renaming something to make it seem better doesn't mean that it changes the sustenance of what it is. And there's some arguments in here of whether or not, you know, a baby is conscientiously aware enough to experience pain, because one woman says, well, it doesn't matter, it's not murder because they don't know they're being murdered. What is this world coming to? And I agree with Pastor Jeff's response to this is, so it's okay for me to go murder somebody who's in a coma, then it's okay for me to just, you know, walk up to them and end their life because they're not conscientiously aware of it.
Critical question to your position is Google it.
Yeah, educate yourself. You're
Google it.
man.
So the pro-choice position has as a fundamental basis of truth Google.
Google, the magic 8-ball of the internet. A place that we all go to get all the answers of the mystery of life. But in all seriousness though, if you have a reason for the way you believe, then you should have no problems discussing it. Also, when we talk about things that we believe or we think is right in our opinions, that's how we learn, that's how we grow. That's how we move forward as a society instead of moving backwards. Tell me what you thought about this video. If you liked it, like it, leave your thoughts in the description. If you disagree with me, then let me know. I appreciate you watching, and thanks.